spring market is officially kicking off here in Rhode Island. And honestly, the market is in a really interesting spot right now. Because on one hand, interest rates are still high. Buyers are frustrated. And overall, sales activity has slowed down compared to the frenzy that we saw just a couple years ago. But at the exact same time, home prices are still rising and inventory remains low. So in this video, I want to break down exactly what's happening in the Rhode Island housing market right now using local data and what it means for you if you are thinking about buying or selling this year. So let's start with the biggest thing people care about right now. And that's home prices. The median single-family home price is now over $514,000 in Rhode Island, which is up more than 7% compared to last year. And honestly, that surprises a lot of people because if you watch the national news, you'd think home prices are crashing everywhere. But Rhode Island is still dealing with a serious inventory shortage, and that's what's kept home prices elevated throughout the entire state. Now, with that said, there are signs that the housing market has cooled off a little bit since the peak years of 2021 and 2022. Closed sales are down about 5%, and pending sales are down even more. And honestly, I think the big reason for that is affordability. A lot of buyers can still technically qualify for homes right now, but once they see what the monthly payment actually looks like with today's interest rates, it becomes a lot harder to justify sometimes. But here's the part that makes Rhode Island such a unique market right now. Even though fewer homes are selling overall, Rhode Island still has only about 1.8 months of inventory. And to put that into perspective, a balanced housing market is usually considered about 6 months of inventory. So despite higher rates and slower sales activity, there are still way more buyers than there are sellers in most areas. So what does that mean if you're actually a buyer right now? Well, first thing, the market definitely is not as insane as it was a couple years back during the boom years of 2021 and 2022. You're also seeing a lot more room for negotiation on some properties, fewer bidding wars in some situations, and buyers have slightly more breathing room overall. But with that said, the good homes that are in good shape, that are priced correctly, are still moving fast, and in many cases, getting multiple offers, because inventory here in Rhode Island still remains so low. And if you're a homeowner that's thinking about selling, this is where strategy really matters. Because yes, it technically still is a seller's market overall, but buyers are becoming more and more selective, especially more than they were just a couple years ago. So pricing your home correctly, preparing it properly, and marketing it the right way matter way more now than they ever did before, especially if you're comparing it to a couple years ago where almost anything would sell instantly. So overall, I would describe the Rhode Island spring market as competitive, but definitely more balanced than the chaos that we experienced just a couple years ago during the booms of 2021 and 2022. Prices are still rising in Rhode Island. Inventory is still very tight, but buyers are becoming more payment conscious and selective. And honestly, every town and every price range is behaving a little differently right now. So if you're thinking about buying or selling here in Rhode Island and want help understanding what's going on specifically in your local market, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help. And if you want more content all about Rhode Island, real estate, and moving to Rhode Island, make sure to smash the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe. Thanks again for tuning in.